The first item on our agenda is a continued public hearing for 88 Muller Street.
Good evening again.
You just reintroduce yourself and
Dan Reynolds with Avatar Construction.
last time, at our last meeting, I think we had requested some more information from you. Do you have?
Yes, so it was very hard to locate, but we did, the building department, they had on record a 1967 plot plan showing the footprint of that addition that we're trying to build upon. It's stamped by the surveyor. I could pass this around. I made 5 copies. If you guys
Yeah,
want.
that would be great.
Thank you.
And the bottom, very bottom, it says, I certify that the structures are located as shown. It's very small.
And do you know what the use of that space is? Just part of the house with the room?
Yeah, it's part of the house.
And you don't know?
Originally, the house was a 2-story house, the main house. And then when the Viglione took over, it was a 1-story. So they don't know what happened between there and that, when they took ownership. That's pretty much the story of it. This is basically the only thing I could locate from the building department. But the proposed addition we're trying to build upon is the same footprint, and we're just basically, we did talk to the inspectors, and we're gonna be, if it's allowed, we're gonna build a knee wall around the existing foundation just to bring it up. It looks sound now, but, just to make sure.
Okay, and I'm sure other members have questions. Can you just refresh my memory, what is this being used for? They just expanded the house?
It's another extra bedroom. There's only 1 bedroom in the house now. The other spaces are dining room, living room. So they're an old couple, so they're trying to build another bedroom where that other addition used to be. There's no bathrooms, nothing else going in, just a bedroom with a closet.
Okay,
Next door to it.
any questions? Mike?
No, it's an existing foundation, he's building right on top of it, I have no questions.
John?
I don't have a question, just, I'm still troubled by the fact that if it was there in 67, it would have had a variance for it, so why is he coming here now? I just don't understand that. I don't have a problem with the variance, that's confusing to me.
I'm trying to remember when
Yeah,
the setback, what the year that those setbacks went into effect. It may have been prior to
Yeah, I mean, I
that.
suppose it
But-
could be. Even still, I have no problem with the application itself, it doesn't really affect density or anything back there, no one's gonna be able to see it.
Mark?
I have no questions.
Charles?
I have no questions.
Brenda?
Questions?
Jim?
I'm all set.
All right, the public hearing is, I also don't have any questions, I'm all right with this. The public hearing is still open. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this matter in favor or against? Seeing none, take a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second?
Motion is made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Anyone else, any other discussion before a motion is made? Anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 88 Muller Street for a right side variance of 13.6 feet.
Is that?
The setback requirement's 15.
Right.
It's 1.4 feet that we're applying for.
All right, so, yeah, I'll make a motion to approve 88 Muller Street for a 1.4-foot variance on the right side, as shown on plot plan dated 10/22/2018.
Okay, before we have a second, I just clarification. I don't know how it was advertised, 13.8, and on the plan it's 13.6, which is less, so it's fine, but I just want to make sure we are accurate as to what we're granting you.
13.6, I'm sorry, this is the proposed new one.
So it's 13.6.
13.6.
That's fine, as long as it's less than what was advertised. Okay. Okay. Motion made to approve 88 Mullet Street with a side yard setback to be reduced by 1.4 feet to 13.6 feet. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. You're all set, thank you.
Thank you very much, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on our agenda is a new public hearing for 120 Lexington Street. Brenda, can you read that into the record for us, please?
A petition of David and Danielle DeBrava for property located at 120 Lexington Street, as shown on map 46, parcel 32 of the Burlington Assessors Map. The applicant is seeking a variance to construct an addition on the right side of the existing dwelling. The addition is proposed to be 7 feet from the property line, requiring a dimensional variance due to the front setback being 21 feet from the existing house. And the Town of Burlington bylaws requires a minimum of 15 feet setback from the side property line. Article 5, Section 5.2.0. As shown on plans filed on December 17th, 2018, and a copy of which is on file with the Town Clerk's office.
Good evening.
Mr. Chairman, Thomas Murphy here with, at the table with David and Danielle DeBrava, who live at 120 Lexington Street. They're the applicants that are before you here this evening. Mr. and Mrs. DeBrava are looking to put an addition on the side of their house. I think I filed a copy of the plan with the application. Intended use for the addition is going to be a garage with, it's currently a three-bedroom house. It's actually 2 bedrooms and a small third bedroom. They're going to put a bedroom above the garage and reconfigure the 3 bedrooms. So it's going to remain a 3-bedroom house. It's just going to give a little bit more room with some closets and whatnot in the bedrooms. And it'll be a one-specific car garage underneath. So that's the nature of the addition that they're looking to construct. In my application, I touch on the statutorily required elements for a variance. I just went through those quickly. As you can see by looking at the plan that was submitted, the Brava's lot is 100 feet frontage on Lexington Street, but it narrows as it goes to the rear of the lot significantly going back. It also goes off of Lexington Street at a rather severe angle. Statute requires a hardship related to the topography of the land or the shape of the land. And I would argue that the hardship here is the shape of this lot. It was laid out in such a way that there is absolutely zero ability to add on to either side of this house. It's not a big house to begin with, but just because of the narrowness of the lot as it goes back and the angle coming back from the street. The house was built so it's 90 degrees to the street, but the 2 side yard boundaries go off at a different angle. So that's, I would argue, that just the hardship related to the lot. And if the variance is not created, the DeBravas would be prevented from putting this addition on their home, which they feel is necessary. They've been living there a little over 10 years. They have 2 children who are getting older, and the current 2.5 bedrooms is just getting very tight as the kids get older and all the stuff that comes with kids increases. So that would be the hardship I would submit. With respect to not nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent of the bylaw, obviously I would think that the reason we have setback is to try to preserve a certain amount of space between houses, give people some privacy and things of that nature. There is an existing fence that goes across along the boundary line between the DeBrava's house at the area where the addition will be going on in a neighboring house. So I would submit that constructing this addition will not impact privacy because of the fences there. I would also add parenthetically, the neighbor has no problem with it. I was in discussions with him, he says, oh, absolutely, it's nice to say that. Obviously, he wouldn't know to oppose it either, but it can represent that he is fully in favor of it here as well. So, and I would also submit that it's not going to cause a detriment to the public good. Single-family house now, it'll continue to be a single-family house. I would submit allowing the property owner to improve the house, certainly not a detriment to the public good. I think it goes to makes the neighborhoods better, improves the tax standing of the town, so I would submit that there's no detriment to the public good here. So with those three items, I would submit to the board that the board has the ability to grant a variance here because the statutorily required points have been met. Happy to answer any questions from the board, address any concerns. Here as well to tell about.
All right, Jim, any questions?
I don't think so at this point, no.
Brenda?
No questions.
Charles?
Do you have any plans of how the structure is going to be built?
I don't. Have you had plans created, or did you? From a height standpoint, the garage is going to be a little bit below the existing ground level, and the first floor will be even with, it's kind of a split-family home, or a multi-family home, and it's going to be equal to the existing second floor of the house. I do have some copies that Mrs. DeBarber had given me earlier. This one shows some interior stuff, which shows some elevation.
Are there copies here, Tom? One sec. Let me start, let me get past them around.
That's the only question I have at the moment.
Okay. Mark?
No, I think that, based upon your presentation in terms of the shape of the lot, I think you meet the hardship, and I also think in terms of the buffer of privacy, I think that you, because of the fence and the fact that there's no objection, I think that you satisfied the requirements. I know that my colleague is reviewing the plan, but...
Yeah, it's not going to be a high structure that's going to be towering over it. It's going to be equal to the existing roof line.
It's going to be aesthetically meet the fit into the neighborhood, so...
John?
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that. I agree with everybody else. I have no problems.
Mike?
I don't have anything to add.
I just have one question, which I actually wish I had noticed it earlier, but the porch on the front, it's showing a 13-foot setback on the other side. Is there a roof on that?
I noticed that too. And actually, I made a note here because there's a statute, chapter 48, section 7, I believe, that was just recently amended the last couple of years. Basically, what it says, anything that's been there for 10 years becomes grandfathered in. That porch was there when the DeBarbers purchased the house 11 years ago. So presumably, whoever built that porch or whoever built the house had a building permit to do so. Even if they didn't, once you get by 10 years, the town can't order removal because of zoning issues. So that's, I don't have a good answer as to how that happened, but it was there when you guys purchased the house, right? And they bought the house in 2008, so if it was there, if it was built, when the house was originally built, either somebody overlooked it or whatever. But it's been there for at least 11 years.
Okay. building department didn't comment on it, so I'm assuming that they're all
Yeah.
right with it.
Yeah,
A lot of the time, they'll ask us to grant a variance for the existing as well. I just
okay, yeah.
wouldn't
no,
want you to have to come back.
No, I appreciate it. I did actually notice that today, Mike, and I kind of looked into it a little. When the building department wrote the denial letter, they didn't touch on it at all either. They had the lien with them. It could be that it was in the original building permit and somebody just overlooked it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm all right with this now. I'm seeing the plans. It doesn't really look like, I was gonna ask if there was any thought to moving it forward in any way, but it doesn't look like that would really lay out in a good way, so I'm all right with that unless anyone else has any other questions. This is a public hearing. We'll open it up to the public if anyone has any questions or comments.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Any other comments, or does someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 120 Lexington Street for a 11-foot variance on the right side.
No. That's a 7.
Sorry,
The house is coming to within 7 feet of the lot line.
so it's an 8-foot
it would be
variance.
An 8-foot variance, I guess, yeah.
As shown on plot plan dated 5/14/2018.
Motion is made to approve 120 Lexington Street for an 8-foot side yard variance as shown on plan submitted dated 5/14/2018. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a discussion item for the board to consider. I believe it was at our last meeting, we discussed some sign variances that we had granted to Wayside Common, 6, I'm not sure of the exact address, 6 Wayside Road, I believe. There's a new tenant moving into that space. So the variance that we approved last year was for 7 signs in the rear of the property facing 128 Cambridge Street. There's a new tenant coming in who is going to utilize one of the spaces of those 7 spots that's approved, so that's not in question. They are asking for 2 other signs in the front of their space, which typically would be allowed by right, but there is a previous variance for other signs on the property, which had the condition that no other signs on the building would be allowed even if by right, in which case they would have to come back to us. The property owner is asking us to consider a couple of things that is cumbersome because one tenant is affected by a decision on another tenant, and it's an undue hardship on the property owner. And the possibility that our most recent decision for the 7 signs in the back, which did not have the condition of no other signs, even if by right, would perhaps supersede the previous condition. So I'll put it out for discussion with the board, for the board. We don't need to vote on it anyway. I can discuss it with the building department, which I already have. It's my opinion that the new approval does not supersede, it's just in addition to the previous approval. And so that condition still holds in this particular case. But if anyone else has any other questions or comments, or we can go back to the building department.
I agree with you. I think that the signs that are that affect the 128, that are in the rear of the property, have a different impact than signs that are going to be presented in front of the building. I think they're two separate decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I agree as well. I think that we do other signs, even if by right, for specific reasons sometimes. One of them may be because there's too many signs or signs are too bright or, one of those reasons. And I don't think it supersedes, I don't think one decision supersedes another as far as the conditions go.
Okay, anybody else?
I mean, by matter of law, we don't set precedent, so you can vote for one thing today, and then on your next meeting, vote the complete opposite on the property right next door to it.
Right.
I'm not into this signage that you guys agreed to a year ago, but the fact of the matter is you did, and so now it stands. But I don't think it supersedes any previous variance. You've been, not just you guys, but this board has been doing that for 20 years now.
Right.
With the signage.
I think the spirit and intent of the discussion that we had and the decision that we made was that it related to the back
Right.
of the building. It was 128 only, so I don't see any, that we superseded any other decision, so I think that they would have to come back.
Okay.
It would open up a huge can of worms, really.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, in this particular instance, this condition is in place. In my mind, there's really no wiggle room with that. If they wanted to come back and, I suppose, request that that condition be removed, they could do that formally, but this is in place now. And not that I think we would do that, but going forward, if there was an application and they had an issue with that kind of condition, it could be discussed on per application. So that's, we have to come across those as we deal with them. So this is an informal discussion. We don't need a vote on this or anything. I will discuss it with the building department and, tell them what we think, and they can deny or not deny based on that, on their interpretation as well, so. So that is that, and we have minutes from our last meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review them?
Motion to accept the minutes?
Second?
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes for January 15th, 2019. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Want to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0.